Do you have any definitions or any, I guess, templates of what being a resource actually is for buyers? Because seemingly it could be one of a million things.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk about being a resource for your buyer, it brings in it begs a few other questions. First of which, you have to understand your buyer. So you need to know what matters to them and understand the things that they're already reading, the things that they're already consuming. So listening is probably the key component to all of this. You have to be able to listen and understand and then kind of pivot off of what your buyers are already spending time consuming and then produce that type of content for them. When it becomes moving down the line, when it comes to actually being the resource, I believe one of the, I guess, the pillars or one of the fundamental pieces of my social selling methodology is that content is the fuel for social selling. And so content is much different than collateral. And I define the two differently, specifically that collateral is all about, my company. It's my white papers. It's my data sheets. It's my product information. Whereas content shouldn't really fill that gap. Content is the educational piece. It's what drives people to learn new things, to open up their minds and maybe challenge pre-existing beliefs on stuff. That's where I think content matters. And so how do you become a resource for your buyer is that you start finding the right content that starts opening up those lines of conversation, those communications with those decision makers. Sometimes it can be, I'd say, controversial in nature because it is challenging these misconceptions or these inherent beliefs. But many times it's just adding new insights and teaching these buyers new things. And if you can do that, I say lead with insights. If you can lead with insights into most of these conversations, everybody's going to want to take your next phone call because they're always going to learn something new from that interaction.